of you, after a few of you almost drowned, um, the mysterious singing continued as you came to shore with the little girl you once saved. She was rather odd, looking into almost all of your pasts with a simple touch of your skin, freaking all of you out, and being far wise beyond your years, you decided to keep her a little bit at arm's length as you investigated this tower that seemed to watch over the lake like a frowning chess piece. Upon trying to enter, Thea decided to do a little dance with some knives that were being conjured from the door, before finally all of you discover that simply knocking would allow you entrance. You then explored the house, seemingly empty. One of you almost burned to death on one of the upper floors from a defensive mechanism that was put into the workshop. From there, you decided to all go back downstairs, where Decima noticed there was a spoon and teacup making tea on its own, which you all quickly discovered was actually someone under the guise of invisibility. A bit of a batshit crazy teenager who seems to have extremely powerful magic at his disposal. Zora, doing what Zora does best, surprisingly, as one of the most charismatic people in this party, befriended Dominic to a point, saying they should get to know each other first before they strike up a proper friendship. And he introduced himself as Dominic, and that was the end of the session. Does anyone have anything to add?
Other than I believe only myself and Zora are in the house right now. I believe he kicked out Thea and Promise and Arabella.
Yeah.
Because get the Vistani child out of my house.
I think Dominic said something about like he said something about like my past or something that triggered something for Decima that Zora was keeping some sort of secret from the rest of the party. But I think that was it.
I know that he commented that Zora reminded him of someone he once knew.
No, he did comment something about knowing her secret or something.
Oh, yeah. He casted Gios on you, didn't he?
He tried to, but it's a minute level thingy.
No, I'm pretty sure I said that he did, and then I just kind of was like, shh, it's a minute. And then, shh. Powerful spellcasters. He is the Quicken Magic or something. I don't fucking know.
Okay, powerful.
He's technically a monster. They don't need mechanics, guys. They don't gotta follow shit. The DM says what happens.
So Domic, as in Domic.
Fucking.
Or Dominic.
I'm really bad at spelling things out loud. I'll just DM you.
Okay.
Or where is it? Female's gonna stretch steering though. There we go. All eyes.
All right, let's see here. Dominic, yep.
All right, so we ended the session with him extending his hand to you and going on Dominic. Zora.
So Zora, after saying this, is going to exhale a bit, looking a little bit tired. Well, now that is that, would you be willing to let my party here shelter here for the evening, or is that like a faux pas?
What a brilliant idea, friend. A slumber party to get to know each other better. Yes. Although you will have to leash up that Vistani child. I won't have a tiny thing running around my house. Leash her, and you can stay the night.
Okay. Well, she's gonna turn toward Decima. I think I don't know. I forget if Decima had made herself known or not.
Yeah, Decima's just been standing there.
Just chilling.
So, actually, I think the group should probably see. I think I should talk to the rest of the group. I don't want to step on anyone's toes. So let's go ask. Yeah, I'll let you know our answer afterwards. Is that okay?
I'll get snacks.
So.
Thank you.
So you guys go outside.
Lovely.
He is a interesting one. Outside.
So you guys go back outside, and the mist swirling around Lake Zarevich still has that little, like, almost as if they're hitting a glass wall about 10 feet away from the tower itself. You see Arabelle is still a little, like, spacey, as if she's off in the weave once again. Thea, promise, what are you two doing?
That's a good question. I would be staring at this child, still uncomfortable with her abilities and kind of over this whole situation from a healthy, respectable 10 or 15 feet away. And just slightly upset.
Thea's taking a snooze right against the side of the house.
All right. You guys see Promise looking a little peeved, and Thea surprisingly taking a nap somehow. And snoring as she does.
Question, DM.
Of course.
Because last time I think I didn't realize that Zora was hearing her own like harmonious thing that was happening over the water.
Mm-hmm.
Is that still happening? Because I don't think anyone else could have heard it, right?
You aren't. You heard it stop when you got close enough to the tower for the fog to not touch it. Are you like going outside that area?
I mean, I'm exiting the house in general.
Yeah, so like they're still like 10 feet away from the house where the fog's like it's hitting almost like that wall thing. If you're still in like that 10 feet area, which I'm assuming Promise, Arabelle, and Thea were. So.
Okay, gotcha. So Zora would go out and try to at least get Promise's attention, since it looks like that Thea is asleep baby. All right. Well, we found the owner of the house. He seems to be a relatively powerful individual of the arcane arts, and he said he'd be willing to let us rest, but he's a little eccentric, so I don't know.
He's also very clearly a teenager.
Yeah. He's Arabella is a teenager, right?
Arabelle's like 6.
Ah.
Arabelle is a child.
He's
or
nuts.
maybe more like 7 or 8, but she's still like she's a midget.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't realize that. Yeah. So I don't know if we want to stay in this house, to be honest, but it seems like they have some magical defenses in case to prevent possibly Strahd from like toying with us again. If we want to just have a restful evening.
I'm just saying he's nuts. But people that are crazy tend to be prepared, so I do think that staying here a night would not be the worst idea.
Does Promise weigh in on this? Right?
She doesn't know. She doesn't seem to really care one way or the other. She thinks we need to sleep. And since they were kicked out, she doesn't really know what to think about the guy inside.
I do think that if we do stay in there, this is my personal opinion, we would need to try to keep watch because what we saw him go in, well, I don't know, he's eccentric, powerful spellcaster, and I personally don't want him messing with my stuff.
I don't think he means us harm. I think he's traumatized. It's pretty common, especially around here. People being a little crazy is expected at this point, I would think.
Okay. Also, Decima, I know in the past you have like helped heal people. Could you help me out? I'm a little like worse for wear.
Yeah, you see that like there's a few burns along the exposed skin, and like her hair is just a tiny bit singed.
I have some like crispy like burn marks on my hair that are like
Yeah.
and stuff. It's awful.
Yes, I can do that. She'll walk over to Zora and place a hand on her shoulder, and I'll cast a 2nd level Cure Wounds. So.
Okay, roll those dice.
Yeah. Yeah, just got my spellcasting mod, which I think is, yeah, it's 3.
Mm-hmm.
10.
Sweet. I have 17 hit points. I have almost only. I have 8 points away from max.
Squishy Wizard with 11 AC.
Oh, I think I have. Yeah, 11.
Yeah,
I
hope
can't
that
believe you
makes
don't have
feel
mage
better.
armor yet.
No, yeah. I have shield though, so. Anyway.
Decima over here with the 18 AC.
Mm-hmm.
Bulky girl.
Well, it's because she's got a shield.
E. Alright, so. What's you guys' plan?
I think our plan is
Thea's
to
gonna sleep.
grab Thea, go wake her up, get us all inside. Unfortunately, tell Arabelle she has to be on a leash.
That's gonna go over well.
I know.
Who has rope?
I would believe I do if I have a pack.
I'm pretty almost all of you should if you have explorer's pack.
Yeah.
I do not. I have scholar's pack.
Now the question is who's gonna tie her up?
Well, let's first talk to her. I suppose Arabella's not out, right?
She's like just like she's that little, like slightly lost. You don't see her really like fully like inert like she has been. It's more like she's following like a trail of something with her eyes. Well, she's just kind of little like slack jawed.
I'll walk over to her and just look down at her. Arabella, I have to talk to you.
Huh? What?
So, we're gonna stay in the tower for the night.
Okay.
But he had a condition. He doesn't like Vistani. So, we have to put you on a leash.
A leash?
That's what he said. It'll just be like a harness around your body. That's it.
Oh, okay. I guess.
We're not.
Sure.
I'm not planning to leave the bottom floor anyway. I think he just doesn't want us running around his tower.
Okay.
All right. I'll take out the rope and kind of like just put a leash around her, make it around her torso rather, and then.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a child leash.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they have those little back there.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Effectively. I'm just gonna like loosely hold on. I'm leaving a lot of rope, so that way like it looks like she's leashed, but I don't actually care because I don't think she'd go running off.
Almost. God damn it, Bean. Yes. So you. Yeah, we're gonna say that it's not that hard to make it like look like there's a lot of rope around her, where you can just kind of have it trailing off a bit.
Yeah.
And with her successfully leashed, are you guys gonna go inside?
We gotta wake Thea up too.
Oh yeah, with the wake to get up.
One of you girls wake Thea up.
I'll walk over there and kind of put a hand on Thea's shoulder. Come on, time to wake up.
5 more.
No, not 5 more minutes. It's time to go. We rest inside. Safer there.
She slowly opens her eyes, just blinking away the sleep.
There we go.
Oh yeah,
Right, wake up.
I forgot.
She's so dumb.
She
She's so
she lets out a yawn and jumps on her feet, back to her full energy self.
Perfect. So back inside, we have sleep to do.
Ooh, they're
Insane.
letting us back inside?
It's beautiful. We have to at least child. Otherwise, yes.
You
Why?
look over at Arabella and you just see like this mess of rope wrapped around like her ribs and like looped over her arms a bit, and there's like a shitload more just like leading to like Decima's hand as she's just like not really caring. Like there's just so much rope giving this kid a leash.
Have you never tied a rope before?
No, I have. I'm not trying to actually tie up the child. I trust her enough.
Oh. Okay.
Aw, you trust me?
So it's on
Enough
you
to
and she
not-
runs off. Gotcha.
Wait, sorry, what'd you say, Jesse?
She was like, I trust you enough to not go running off in places you shouldn't. And if you do, well, if you die, no longer my problem.
You know, I was touched, but I should have expected more.
The fact that you expected much from me says you don't know me very well.
I mean, I saw like your entire past, so
Yeah, you did.
you can't really tell like a person's character. You can just kind of see their actions. I'm also like 8, so
You are like 8.
gonna be 9 in like 3 months.
Children. All right, it's time to go inside. Let's go.
All right, I'll go. Oh, by the way, well, just to let you all know, our host's name is Dominic. So, he is very excited about the concept of letting us stay here. So don't get like too weirded out. If that makes sense. And if you guys decide based off his personality that we want to leave instead, then I mean I don't think. I mean, head inside.
Okay. You guys go back inside and you find what was once like a pretty casual sitting room with a little kitchenette has been almost entirely transformed. The couches have been pushed against the walls, and in front of the fireplace, you see like an uncountable amount of pillows and blankets all spread out on the floor, making like a comfortable little like nest that's about like 20 feet apart, could easily fit all of you and then some. There's bowls of like a white like fluffy thing just sitting around. and you smell like the smell of cooking tomato sauce, and you look over to see Dominic there with like his hand like this and his other hand underneath, and this hand right here has like the tip of it is lit like a blowtorch, and in his hand slowly rotating is what looks like cooked dough with tomato sauce and cheese on top of it.
I hate you so much right now. Hate you so much right now.
Wait till Thea tries it.
Can I roll to see if I've seen this?
Yeah, everyone
So-
can roll a history check to see if they can figure out what this unique cuisine is.
I'm not
Alright.
bothering. I refuse to take in this. Even though history is like a good stat for me, I refuse.
I have a very important question.
Mhm.
I have advantage on a lot of intelligence checks to recall information about Fey fiends or undead. So do I have an advantage here on this history check?
I will say yes.
Okay.
Fucking fake cuisine.
Hey.
So, Zora, you don't really recognize what he's doing with his hand, but you do recognize what's in the bowls is popped corn, which is a which is like a fairly common fair food. Tessima, you know exactly what these are. This
That's
is
what you
what's known
mean,
as a margarita
promise?
or Tessima promise. Sorry. Uh, so back home, you know that this is popped corn, um, but back what it looks like he's cooking what's known as a tombstone pita, which is a really delicious like crust with tomato sauce and cheese. It's really good, but that's what they call it back home in hell is a tombstone pita.
The popcorn was the same as the caramelized popcorn that the Vistani ate.
Right, I had them do that. Yeah, it's super duper similar actually.
Okay, cool.
You know, it's like so similar. Like it looks like it might have even been cooked the same way.
Gotcha.
Decima, what are you doing with the leash? Are you
She's
gonna
just kind of
tie
like,
something?
her arms are just crossed and she's just holding the end of it.
All right. So as you all enter, you see him doing it. Perfect. And he snaps his fingers and like the blowtorch thing like stops so he doesn't burn himself. And he like waves his hand off, and a mage hand carries the bread cuisine towards the little nest he's made. You can tie up the child. It's time for the sleepover. I'm so happy you all decided to say it's been absolutely ages since I have had guests.
Yeah, I don't think you'd get a lot of guests in Barovia, let alone all the way out here.
Ages? How long have you been here?
Anyway, have you ever tried popped corn?
I have actually. Yeah, I have actually. It was tasty.
Well, I'm really glad that you found it tasty because I made a bunch of it while we all get to know each other. I've also made this particularly good pita that I brought from back home. It has tomato sauce and cheese on it, and it is perfect the way it is. You don't need any more toppings.
If you don't mind me asking, where are you from?
Somewhere that's not here.
It goes the same for the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
I might tell you more with a game we're gonna play. And he just has this kitty little smile on his face.
Oh, me. Okay. What kind of game are you wanting to possibly play?
It's a game that my classmates used to play back in the dorms. It's called Two Truths and One Lie.
Ah,
This is a great way to get to know each other.
I see. I
What's a
think I'll
dorm?
watch-
A dorm is where a lot of people sleep, usually at a school.
Yeah.
Anyway, tie up the child and let's all get comfy. I set out blankets.
I'm a little tired and a little haggard from the events that have happened today, so I think I'll sit this one out for this evening.
Oh, come on. One game.
I mean, I like literally just got exploded. I almost lost like two of my companions here to drowning.
I can fix that. Are you hurt?
I'm still hurt, yeah.
Here, I
Like,
can fix that. And he like rubs his hands together, and you see little like golden sparks start forming between his hands, and he like does like this motion, and the little golden sparkles go and settle over your skin and ebb in, and you heal for. Am I rolling in the right thing? No, I'm not. I have too many things. You heal for 13 points.
I don't really, I am accepting.
Top has informed me that your reactions are priceless, Bean. Because he clicks away from the server and it just shows you for some reason, and so you're like perpetually confused, which is perfect for Thea.
I like to think that Thea is a very accurate portion of my personality. Just like part of it.
Okay. I had to go through way too many notebooks to find that particular one. And yes, Ray, I understand the digital would be a lot easier because Control F, but there's, there's differences. So, are you guys gonna all go sit down?
Yeah, I'll tie her up somewhere in the middle of the room, that way she can move a lot and not have to worry.
You could probably tie her to like one of the legs of the furniture.
That's what I'll do.
Okay.
I'll stand.
I will like grab a pillow, and like move off to the side.
Thea, you just see this warm, inviting blanket nest right near the fire.
Ooh.
Like it seems like there's like maybe like 4 dozen different kinds of blankets, like just
I don't even think I need to say what Thea does then. She's like a cat.
So speaking of cats as well, Mr. Midnight crawls off of Zora's shoulders and goes and hops up on the mantelpiece above the fire, curling up and purring. Very now comfortable.
I'm going to try and telepathically speak with Mr. Midnight. Mr. Midnight, does everything seem fine to you in this room?
He's gonna like open one eye and look around at everything. Well, the kid's batshit insane, but otherwise I think you're okay.
Good. I see. Last time I didn't take up the cue that the entire room was going to explode, so I just wanted to I wanted to start taking steps to trusting you and like putting more faith in your discerning ability. So, just
As you should. You're learning so quickly, young Zora.
Thank you. Oh, all right.
All right.
Need to go over to the couch.
Decima, what are you doing? Gonna sit.
Decima would sit down. And probably just take out a book and just read.
Hey, thank you, Ray.
Mm.
All right, so he's going to sit down at the perceived center of everything, with Promise standing, Zora kind of sitting off to the side, Thea curling up right in front of the fire, and Decima taking a little seat, and with a very happy grin on his face. Now that it's just us, older people, I think it's time we play a rather serious game of 2 truths and 1 lie. My new friend Zora, why don't you go first? So you have to announce 2 truths about yourself and 1 lie, and it's up to us to figure out what the lie is. And if we correctly guess it, we get 1 point, and the first to 5 wins.
Okay, fine. I'll play like 1 round. Okay, just what?
Well, you have to stay awake to eat the food. It's good. I put effort into it. It's rude to, refuse someone's hospitality.
I am a little hungry, so.
He's gonna snap his hand, and a mage hand is going to appear to carry 1 slice to each of you.
Yeah, I just don't really like these games. So.
Well, it's a good way for us to get to know each other better, so that we can become better friends, like you wanted.
So, okay. 2 truths and a lie. Well, as I quickly try to look through my notes.
The rest of y'all better be thinking about something too while Cosby figures this out, because I'm making all y'all do it. Also, I love Cosby's ceiling fan in the background, because the amount of frames it's putting out looks like it's gently just vibrating in a circle.
Yeah, exactly, right?
That's so good. That's
because the frame rate.
Yep. The frame rate is lined up perfectly with how fast it's moving. Like, just a little bit off. Like, if the frame rate were faster, it'd actually look stationary. Or if it were a little bit different.
Alright.
Like that one video the helicopter does.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. It's really cool.
I almost have it.
Oh, you're good. I am just kind of springing this onto you guys.
Yeah.
Ray looks so happy, so all of a sudden. While you look that up, I'm going to read Promise's journal.
Okay, I just need 1 more. Okay, I think I got it. Oh wait, no, I have to remember what my. I have. Let me just.
Cosme over here with a super convoluted backstory is like, fuck, what do I say and what don't I say?
That's what it is. Okay, I have. All right. So, 2. Oh, you said 2 truths and a lie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or I said 2 lies. Oh.
No, 2 truths.
Oh, no.
2 truths and 1 lie.
All right. I have to figure out 1 more truth. I was thinking 2 lies and the truth, but.
Well, we could do 2 lies and 1 truth. It's just harder that way.
Yeah.
Which makes for a more interesting game.
Are you sure?
Yeah. We'll do hard mode.
All right. So I have 3 siblings. I love stories of adventure and fantasy, and I'm a vampire.
Well, one of them's obviously not. You're not a vampire.
Am I? I don't know. I was buried in the ground after like Strahd caught me when
You
I was
were a
asleep.
vampire. You would have been vaporized on sight upon entering my house. You're not a
Oh.
vampire.
Hey guys, I'm not a vampire. You guys don't have to worry about killing me anymore. Oh. Here we go.
You're saying that house destroys vampires who enter house?
Well, it's warded against them. I've never actually seen it in work, but I do know the magic theory behind it. And either they would be vaporized, or they would not be able to enter at all, or they would take holy damage to the point that they almost died. Depends. Like a zombie, definitely. Just like, have you ever seen those like electric fences? Like they do lightning damage along a cord. Have you ever seen like a cow get caught in one of those and then they just cook and cook and cook? Yeah, it's like that with the zombies with this aura around my house. I haven't tested it on higher undead, but I know zombies just.
I look really uncomfortable.
He is not paying attention.
I mean, I think the fences I normally see are just normal fences. I think
That
at
might have been
school,
special.
I think at school I heard about something like you just talked about, but those are like, that's a really rare case, I think. Maybe, I don't know. I never really thought about doing something like that.
They had those at my school. Well, okay, I want to hear what your friends have to say, but at the same time, they're your friends, so they probably know already. I'm gonna say that the lie is you have 3 siblings.
You mean the truth? You need to figure out the
truth.
truth.
No, the lie is that you have 3 siblings and that you're a vampire. So the truth is you love adventuring stories. Tell me I'm right. I am a genius.
That is the correct answer. Yes.
Ah! I just knocked my pen off my desk. Fuck. I am a genius. Perfect. Now, it's your turn to pick who goes next.
You go next, Dominic.
Okay.
I don't think he saw that coming.
Let's see.
I don't have an actual piece of stuff.
Let's see.
I'm just gonna put that back
Top almost unmuted himself. I love this. I love naming an NPC after someone and having that someone listen in on the session. Let's see. I went to school in a town called Silkyard. Both my parents are alive and well. And I once lived in the town of Valaki. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Have I heard of a place called Silkyard?
Make a history check.
Not that one. This one.
Yes, actually. Silkyard. Because I'm taking a little liberties about where you guys are from, I'm assuming you're all from, like, the world I've created to some extent, with one exception. Cosme, you recognize Silkyard actually very well. Silkyard is a town along the Weaver's Coast that houses one of the most prestigious wizarding academies in the entire country.
And we're still doing 2 lies and a truth, right? Or are we doing back
2
to
lies,
truth?
1 truth.
based on that, I think it is. You used to live in Silk Yard.
You are so clever. It's true. How do you know where Silk Yard is?
Well, I also went to school, and it's I didn't go to that one in particular, but it's a really nice school. So,
That's so
yeah.
amazing. We're from the same place. And then we both ended up here. What are the circumstances? I need to run the numbers on that. The probability of that is absolutely impossible. It's so amazing.
We can go with that. Yeah.
All right, my turn again. Decima.
All right. I suppose I can go. So, I care about my parents a lot. I know my own future. And I would kill each and every person in this room if it was deemed necessary.
Ooh! The last one's the truth.
Dude, that's my. This is 2 lies and a truth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm hoping that it is you know your future, and not that you would want to kill all of us.
Well,
But I mean, I wouldn't put it. Never mind. Sorry.
isn't it supposed to be Dominic guessing?
I'm gonna guess.
Well, it's a group effort, but I just assumed that you all knew each other well enough that I'd be at a disadvantage here.
Oh,
That's fair.
yeah, Dominic, if you want to go and guess, then you can totally do that.
No, I like where you were going there. No, she definitely seems like the pragmatic sort. You're right, Sora. So if she did deem it necessary to kill all of us, perhaps if we were all to become vampires, she didn't say right now. She said if she deemed it necessary to kill us. And not very many people can know their own future because the future is constantly changing because of variables surrounding it. And she might not have known her own parents. Usually adventurers are not people that have a happy home life. So I am going to guess that you would kill us all if you deemed it necessary, Decima.
That is correct, though it would not be I who deemed it necessary. Just if it was deemed necessary.
I see.
Well, I'm not a vampire, so you don't have to worry about that anymore.
You're fine. I'm not threatening to kill you all. I just didn't know how to play this game very well.
Well, it's your turn to pick who goes next.
Let's get the loud one out of the way. Thea Steel Scourge, why don't you, why don't you give a lie, or 2 lies and a truth, or whatever it is.
2 lies, 1 truth.
She takes a second to think about it, seemingly coming up with these on the spot. Pastries are the most scrumptious food available. I've never once had a single time fallen down from the crow's nest, and the longest time I've ever been on land is only a month.
What's a crow's nest?
It's something on a ship. It's
the highest point on the ship.
Oh, okay. You're a sailor. Interesting.
Have I not introduced myself? I am Thea Steel Scourge, captain of Arion's legacy and fierce opponent of the Imperial regime.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that, and I had mentioned I once opposed the tyrannical regime as well.
Yes, I remember.
Did you win?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Did you?
I think your lie is that you have. I think one of the lies is you have fallen from the crow's nest. You know, maybe you dozed off napping up there one day. And pastries are quite delicious. And since you are a sailor, I would say the longest time that you've ever spent on land could be more or less So I'm going to say your truth is you think pastries are the best food.
You're wrong.
What's the right
Pastries
answer
are
then?
pastries are super delicious, but until you've had those scrumptious meat rolls that the orphanage used to make, is the only good thing about that place, mind you. Ah, could never ever escape that taste.
So what's the truth?
I've never fallen from the crow's nest.
Would you like to?
That might be a fun experience.
Ah, perfect. He's then going to clap his hands together, and the whole room is going to suddenly shift. Hang on, I need to actually figure out what spell he's going to use for
I'm
this.
just gonna grab whatever thing is nearby me so I don't like collapse, fall.
Let me go look at illusion magic real quick. Alright, so around you all, suddenly everyone but Thea is sitting on the bow of a ship, and you hear and smell and feel the sea breeze on you, and you feel the rocking of the ship. You guys are the only ones there, though, and Thea, 40 foot off of the deck, you find yourself on a little tiny raised platform above. Alright, you can jump now!
I don't think that's what she meant, but okay.
She takes a few minutes, breathing in the sea air, remembering the wonderful experience of just being on
After
a
like
ship.
a minute, I thought you wanted to fall out of the crow's nest. Hurry up.
But where will I fall to?
Just trust me.
She shrugs her shoulders, takes a deep breath, and jumps off.
Alright, so you fall almost 40 feet. Mid seconds before you're about to face plant into the deck of the ship, he claps his hands again, and you're just laying. You just fall like a couple inches into the pillows that you were once sitting in, and everyone is standing and sitting respectively back in the same room that you guys were just in with all the pillows and stuff.
That does not seem like a very accurate representation of falling off a crow's nest.
Huh? I didn't hear what you said, Ray.
I said it does not seem like a very accurate representation of falling off a crow's nest.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to have to, reconstructing one's face with magic is a very careful thing, and I don't have my spell book with me at the moment, so it'd be a bit harder to do from memory alone, and I really don't I want to have to do major reconstructive facial healing on the spot. It's not really my area of expertise anyway, so I don't think my friend Zora would appreciate me smashing up her friend Thea's face. Also, Zora is AFK right now.
You mean we were actually on a ship?
More or less. It was an illusion. Yes, I will give it that. Complete fabrication. Of course I can't automatically leave. Can you imagine? However, you very much would have absolutely taken the damage that comes from falling 40 feet out of the air. I just prevented it because, again, it was a lot of effort to reconstruct your face. Unless you wanted to leave it that way, but I don't think you would. So I decided to save myself the effort by just merely ending the spell and having you fall face first into pillows.
It's a
So
very
now you
smart
have
ploy.
a simulated experience of what that would have been like. Although based off my time here in Barovia, you'll probably never see a ship again in your life, so you might not actually fall out of the crow's nest ever.
Her like weird half smile, kind of like confused look turns immediate to like a realization that she might never be on a ship again. She just looks distressed.
Oh, damn. Ah. We can keep playing the game without her. Thea, pick somebody so we can move on from you being sorry for yourself.
I believe there's only one left.
Yeah, promise it's your turn.
Very well. If I must play, I'll play. I have 7 toes. I greatly appreciate the skills of fortune tellers, and I was raised in hell.
I believe I know this one, so I will let Dominic figure it out.
7 toes. Are you saying you were born with 7 toes, or that you have 7 toes?
I currently possess 7 toes.
Okay. You seem a very serious person who doesn't appreciate, who probably wouldn't appreciate the Vistani, much like me. Well, I'm a little less serious, but I don't like the Vistani. No. Growing up in hell. As far as I know, that's an outer plane. You don't seem like you're from the. You have 7 toes, don't you?
No, I do not have 7 toes. I grew up in hell. You lose.
Excuse you, I have the most points.
Only because you rigged the game.
Ooh.
I didn't rig the game. Any of you could have guessed. Any of you could have guessed at any time alongside me earning points, but you didn't, so I win. I like this game. Oh, how did everybody like their pita?
Has anyone even eaten it yet?
I've probably touched it some. It's definitely different. I've never had anything like it.
It's delicious, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's created using fire magic. You could say it's magically delicious.
How old are you?
I'm 16.
The delay.
That explains certain things.
I've been
I
16 an
exaggerate
awful long
again.
time, though.
Well, I believe it is good time to rest, yes?
You don't even want to play Truth or Dare? There's still
No.
popcorn left.
Yeah. I think I'm good for no more games of Truth or Dare. Oh yeah, no more games for me. I'm a little tired. I just want to rest right now. The pita is all right. It's interesting. Thank you for making it. Popcorn's delicious. Yeah.
I suppose you can all rest. You've probably been up a long time. It's hard to tell the time, I guess. So, I'll go get a book.
Thea's already asleep in the blankets.
He gets up and goes upstairs for a few moments to grab what you assume is a book, leaving you guys alone for about 2 minutes.
I do not trust him.
Why not?
He is a mage. A powerful one by the looks of it. Powerful mages are not to be trusted.
I can agree with you there. Yeah.
He's given us no reason not to trust him, at the very least. I'm not saying
DM?
keep him our friend, but we can work with him.
I will take first watch if you all wish to take subsequent watches. I believe it wise that someone remain awake tonight.
I can watch the final half of the night.
Very well.
Thea's already asleep.
Yep.
Zora, would you wish to take second watch?
I will keep second watch. I think that is a good idea, especially if this quote unquote failsafe for vampires it doesn't actually work.
About this time, he comes back downstairs, holding a rather thick book. Okay, yeah, you can. So detect magic again. Everything, like the walls themselves, glow with the aura of abjuration.
Hmm.
And I think it's divination, or is it not divination? Yeah, I think it's just abjuration and. Yeah. It's just abjuration.
Gotcha. Okay.
And Mr. Midnight will peek open eye again. Of course, Sora. And he comes back downstairs with a book about this big, like it's thick as fuck, and he sits down, where you guys once were, and starts reading. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
I'll go take the couch with the blankets and pillow and start going to sleep.
Okay. Promise. During your watch, he doesn't actually sleep. He just keeps reading. After about an hour, he looks over to you. You're not going to sleep.
No, not yet.
Alright.
Approximately 60 minutes more, then I get sleep.
Odd, but I suppose you were raised in hell. Who am I to question your customs? He goes back to his book. Decima. You're first up in the dream.
Okay.
So, this comes to you pretty early in your night. You see a Taroka card, the Queen of Spades to be precise. The spade card spins rapidly before slowly dissolving into mist. The mist starts to cling to you, suffocating. You manage to push through it, and you see the mist part before you. And though it's hazy, you see it clear. Strahd. He looks different, however. Younger. Damn it, Ray! I'm trying to build an atmosphere! Younger. A little less worried, shadows haunting his face. He seems really confident as he enters a clearing, low in a swamp. Monoliths of stone rise from the muddy water, seeming as ancient and powerful as the earth itself. As Strahd enters the circle, the mists swirl around his body as dark women, like multiple, move forward to meet him, their bodies swaying back and forth like the branches of trees in a storm as they move closer to oddly remove every stitch of his clothing. The light of the moon bathes his pale body in the light as the dark-eyed women fade back into the shadows. These dark-eyed women are familiar to you, similar to the witch that you encountered on the way to the lake. You begin to notice more of your surroundings, and you see the full moon like a judgmental eye gazing down upon the clearing. Once more, the mists swirl further back, and ancient markings cover the monoliths and are bound to each other. And bound to each one is a naked woman. Some crying, some stone-faced. You watch as Strahd leans in and whispers to a stony-faced brunette. She remains silent and he pulls back. You are the lost one, my dear. Is it your fate truly worth it? Another figure strides forward, a crude stone knife with jagged edges and a polished silver bowl. The woman has voluminous black hair and a cruel, dark blue eyes. She smiles a bit too widely. Do not worry, my son. I have an excellent feeling about tonight. She abruptly turns towards you, her eyes freezing you in place, Decima, as her smile never wavers. Oh, a visitor into my past. How interesting. With every step, her features melt like wax and transform into a hideous visage, but with the same smile remaining unchanged. She caresses your cheek with the back of her hand. I hope we see each other soon, dear. And you wake up. I have a copy of this if you want it.
Okay.
Do you do anything when you wake up?
I'd have to go back to bed because I'm gonna take.
Yeah, just besides being generally freaked out, do you like jerk up in bed?
No, she would probably write it all down, knowing her, as quick as
Right.
possible. But then.
So promise, you notice a little bit before your watch is over, Decima sits up abruptly, fumbling for her book, and starts to write furiously for a few moments before going back to bed. And we have the change. Oh, sorry.
When she starts to write, I'm gonna say, you still have hours till watch. You will sleep again.
I'm aware. I plan to just give me 5 minutes at most. I have to write something important down.
Dominic's gonna look to you up from his book. Did you get struck with inspiration in the middle of the night and have to write it down?
No, more like fortune.
Oh, that stuff. And he goes back to his book. And we get to the changing of the guard.
I'll go ahead and poke at Zora.
Zora will wake up. My turn. Okay.
Yes.
Dominic's gonna look up as you guys change. Are you all keeping a watch?
No, I just needed to write something in my book after a period of time. So, and Thomas said she was going to remind me if I forgot. So, yeah.
Oh, that's why you needed to go to bed late.
Yeah.
Us wizards, right? Always giving up so much for the sake of our craft.
Exactly.
He settles back into the covers a bit more, like leaning against a pillow, but he's still reading his book. Promise you can go to bed?
And I will.
We go to the next stream in the cycle, which is actually Thea. Which is going to be a wonderful dream. So Thea, in your dream, there's the sound of seagulls overhead, the smell of salt, the gentle creaking of wood as it cuts through the waves. You sit bolt upright in bed. Wait, a hammock? You scramble without another thought out of the room and up to the deck of the ship. Clear blue sky stretching for miles overhead, and you take in the sight of your crew, your family. You beam at them as they laugh, looking down, and you realize you're still in your underwear. You blush, but you're laughing along with them, relieved everything is normal. Corin walks over and throws a blanket around you, giving you a side-armed hug. Forget your pants this morning, Captain. His jovial teasing causes you to laugh again, and you close your eyes before opening them again and looking at the ceiling. Stone. The fire warm at your side, and tears streaming down your face.
Yeah, that was really good. That was really
So yeah, actually Zora, it's towards the end of your watch where you see Thea like stop snoring and you glance over at her to see her like her awake actually, crying.
I'm going to move over to Thea. Hey, are you okay?
Oh, she yawns.
While crying.
While crying. I'm fine. Why do you ask?
Just why do you ask?
I mean, like, if there's like anything wrong, you, I mean, I know we don't really like know each other, but you've been one of the more friendly ones of the group to me, especially like in terms of like the vampire stuff. And so, if you ever want to like talk, about I don't whatever's going on, just you, you can or you don't have to. That's up to you. So, yeah.
Thanks. She just lies back down and goes back to sleep.
Yeah. Well. Okay. So, I'm just gonna go back here. I'm gonna go back to writing in my book.
Dominic is still awake, reading his book, and he looks over to you after a bit. About another half hour. Zora, you should be getting some sleep, my friend. It wouldn't do for you to not sleep properly after taking, the wounds you've taken. So it's good to have a good night's sleep.
Yeah. I think I'll take a sleep shortly. I just wanted to finish up some of my notes real quick before doing that.
Do you have insomnia?
Insomnia? No.
I could help you with that if you need to.
No, I'm
I know
good.
the spell.
No, I'm fine. I don't need any like magic or anything like that to help me fall asleep. I just have a set ritual thing I like doing every now and then, and I forgot to do it, so that's why I needed to stay up. But yeah.
All right. If you're
Thank-
sure.
Yes, yeah, totally fine. Thank you for the offer, but I just want to finish this, and then I should be fine with going back to sleep.
All right. And he's going to go back to his book.
Okay. At the end of my watch, it was Decima next, or
Yes, because I can watch
okay.
half the
So,
night.
okay. So for Decima, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch, and then I'm going to walk over to Decima and like try to subtly like. Actually, no. Actually, this is what I'm going to do.
Secret
Actually, no. I don't want to
message.
hurt her. Let me see. What can I do?
There's only so
Oh,
many
no, actually,
excuses
this is
you
what I'm
can
gonna
have
do.
for your peculiar
This
sleep
is what that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go look over at Dominic. Dominic, do you have a bathroom or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just up the stairs. If you go past my workshop, don't step on the sigil. There should be a basement in there.
That. Okay. So I'll proceed to head up the stairs, and when I get up to the sigil room, I'm going to. She's going to take out her prism, and she's going to point to where Decima is, and she's going to cast message. It's like
Secret
Decima,
message.
secret message. Decima, it's time for you to wake up.
Decima
That's
just,
my yeah.
Decima just slowly sits up and stretches. Well, that was a lovely rest. Now it's time to get back to work.
After going to the bathroom for Grippies, I will go downstairs and head to bed.
All right. Decima, so you wake up and you notice that Dominic is still awake, is still reading his book, just chilling, relaxed, at ease.
Don't you oversleep?
No, actually, I haven't done that in years.
That's concerning.
I don't need to anymore.
That's wild.
As you say.
So we're gonna do a double back-to-back, because we don't have the actual 4-watch setup where someone would have a dream every watch because Leah decided to be a dick and
Well,
make
no.
it so Zora didn't get a lot of sleep.
Well, I can watch 4 hours, so I don't have to watch 2. Because I'm an elf. I trance.
You didn't say that though.
I
so
said I take
Zora
the
pulled
second
the
half.
double.
No, I said I took the second half of the night.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I specified that.
Okay. So Zora, you get your lucky you. You.
See,
I actually would have like qualified that as like a long rest anyway because it is like keeping watch.
Yeah, no, we can literally only need 3 watches.
Can you guys still hear me? Because Discord
Yep.
just went completely black.
No, I can hear you. You're good.
Wunderbar.
Megan, Theo fell asleep before the talk of watches happened.
I know, but still, like unintentional dicking or not, you're still a dick. Just gonna wait for Discord to stop doing this thing before I read off another like 3. Ah!
What was that?
Oh, you guys can still hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here, see you. Yeah.
This is great.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Did your computer fall and crash?
Oh no, it looks like
Now she's
yeah, now
crashed.
she's gone.
Now it's just
Yep.
gone.
Oh, this is a good picture.
Right?
I told
I
her.
was just thinking the same thing.
I'm gonna message her.
I already told her.
Okay.
Remember, I just have to fucking raise my voice. Ugh. So. No idea. Fucking Discord. Always Discord.
Yeah. Okay, so
Flames. Alive and looking at your skin, yet you feel cold. Like cold right in your chest. Ah! You must be in hell. Picking yourself up off the ground, you take in your surroundings and you find yourself on a pyre. A plethora of flowers burning and turning to ash around you. You step off the pyre and the flames die with the sound of a whispering velvet. Before you, you see a tall figure, wrapped in a black cloak, seeming to be made of the night sky itself. You quickly reach for your sword to find it gone, and in your hand, rather, is an iron symbol of what appears to be a cloud. However, the smith work on it makes it appear like there is some kind of almost silver lining on the cloud. Oh, you lost my place. Love it. It feels so cold in your fingers. Your fingers hurt as you clench your hand around it, and you hear a bestial purr in your ear as you look back at the man on the pyre. Strad von Zarovich is the name growled in your ear. You gasp as the man has set a flame on the pyre. You continue to gasp for air as your mouth is filled with liquid. You choke and you fall to all fours, a silvery liquid pouring from your mouth. A hand wraps around your throat, clawed and leathery. You feel the indent of each bone digging into your throat as it pulls you up and against the chest of something much, much larger than you. It moves under your chin to force you to look at the figure stepping down from the pyre. Unharmed. It's him. Strahd, standing naked before you. The smell of grave dirt and blood fills your nose as you feel the claws dig in. Only holy fire can put down a devil. Do not forget your promise. And you wake up in a puddle of sweat.
Unholy cold sweat.
Just look over, promise. You okay?
Yes, sir. Enough dreams. That's all. It will be fine.
Would you like a glass of water? Dominic is still up, promise.
No, thank you. I'll be alright. Do you not sleep at all?
No,
Why not? It's a little
just don't.
disconcerting.
I haven't slept in a long time.
What's the book look like?
The book is like this thick. He's like 3/4 of the way through it at this point. Um, make a perception check to see if you can like look at the book pages.
It's an Encyclopedia Britannica.
No.
Okay, you can't really tell. There are words in that book for sure. Definitely words in that book.
Sleep well. I'm gonna steal a peek at wherever the kid's at. Is the kid still there?
You actually see, that she's like curled up on the couch that she's tied to, sleeping.
Okay. I'll go to sleep.
All right. Okay, so we go to Zora's dream. Blinking, you take in your surroundings. A completely white room with no windows, no doors, no escape. Just a single mirror. You reach a hand up to touch your own face as you break into a cold sweat. Your skin, gray. Hair hanging around you, stripped of color. Your breath hitches as you try to turn yourself back. However, your features begin to betray you. And slowly, as if you've been dipped in paint, you watch your skin turn into a freckled cinnamon brown, your hair curling into loose ringlets of a rich auburn red. You begin to claw frantically at your skin and hair, pulling chunks of flesh and hair as you do, trying to stop the transformation. The more you struggle and attempt to stop everything, the faster it transforms you. You begin to hyperventilate as your eyes shine a deep brown, and you're now a perfect copy of Arena, with a full head of red hair. Your horror freezes you in place as Strahd steps out from the mirror. Ah, what perfection. Yes, my darling, it is time for you to return to me. The mirror turns into a coffin. Your name etched into the lid. Sela. It opens for you and you howl in horror as Strahd carries you to it. Suddenly, however, it stops. The room around you shifts. Decima, you notice in the real world that suddenly Dominic shuts his book and pulls out a quill and ink, as well as rummaging around for a handful of sand, before suddenly he leans back on the pillows as if in a trance, similar to the way you do. In your dream, Zora, your form returns to Zora. You find yourself in one of the coziest places possible. A library, comfortable blankets and pillows cocooning you in safety, a warm fireplace crackling at the far side of the room. Sitting in a rather comfortable armchair around this blanket nest as you look around, just still trying to catch your breath, you see Dominic. You were having a nightmare. Are you alright?
So, are you really here, or is this a dream?
Yes. I'm in your dream.
Well, I'm doing better now. Yeah. Things are better now. I'm doing all right.
Good. Well, how about you take it easy, and I'm going to sit here in your dream and read so that you can have sweet dreams tonight, and that you aren't overtired from staying up and scribing in your journal.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks.
Of course, my friend. He goes over to one of the shelves and pulls out a book and reads. And you feel as if no time really passes. If you get up to go read the books, you actually can't read them. Because, fun fact, you can't read in dreams. Like, you can understand, like, that's like the thing. In dreams, you understand what you're doing, but when you actually try to, like, read something, it disappears jumbled. It's really weird.
Mhm.
And you wake up feeling pretty well rested, actually. Around the same time Zora wakes up, Dominic sits up from the relaxed state he was in and goes back to his book.
I'm going to write down the dream. Yeah, the whole dream. I'll write down the whole dream.
I can type you guys the transcripts if you want.
That would be great.
I will after the session because, written things. If we were at an actual table, I'd just be divvying these out like, here you go.
I mean, you could fax things to us, right?
Huh?
You could fax it to us, right?
Yep.
I, could in theory.
No. No.
However, this is the closest I'm going to get.
Okay.
The authentic experience.
Oh, God damn it.
There you go.
There, we got the authentic DM handout experience.
Woo!
All right.
So yeah, all of you except for Decima and Promise know that Dominic hasn't slept and has just been kind of chilling the whole night. Except for like about a 20-minute period where he kind of tilted back for a minute and then he sat back up. Which was kind of weird to you because he doesn't see Melvin.
Yeah. This is very strange, but I'm not going to question it. Not with somebody this powerful.
You all wake up after a well-rested sleep. Thea last, about an hour after everyone else. Unless someone wakes her up early.
Of course. First one in bed, the last one up.
Good old Thea.
That's my motto in life.
I can tell. Like, damn, how many times have you been late because you were sleeping, Bean? To your own streams.
Sleeping is more important. If it's not 1 p.m. yet, why am I not still in bed?
Jesus Christ.
See, I can't have that mentality anymore because my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ says, "Let there be light" at about 8 in the morning every fucking day.
You also have to be to work by 8.
Shut up.
So if I didn't wake her up, she wouldn't wake up.
Or 3, I guess, technically.
the way, DM, I'm gonna check over my stuff, everything there in one place. Okay. I'm gonna ask Mr. Midnight, and if they were awake the entire time, if anything unusual happened during the unquote night.
I slept while you were on watch, but the psycho kid didn't sleep at all.
And I try to think of a magical means that would allow them to do this, or if I've heard this before in my studies.
You can try.
Okay. What am I rolling here?
Roll an Arcana check.
Do. Arcana, I'm good at. Nope.
No, you've heard like of spells like catnap that allow you to get like a full night's rest in like an hour, but you've never heard of spells that stop aging and are able to sleep, and are able to not sleep. You know.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm going to now stretch a little bit. Hey, Dominic. I know that. Well, is there any food possibly that we could eat for breakfast here, or do we need to scrounge something for ourselves?
I could do pancakes and bacon.
Pancakes and bacon. That sounds.
Have you had a pancake?
I don't have my dice. I think I've had. I mean, is it like waffles?
Yes, but flat and fluffy and far superior.
Well, I'll find that out. Sure, I'm down for some pancakes. Are they like cakes, but like thin?
Cake?
Good morning, Thea.
Did I hear cake?
Yes, I'm making pancakes.
What's a pancake?
It is a fluffy, delicious breakfast food that you smother in syrup. I have raspberry syrup here. It is delicious. And bacon as well.
You can see Thea start salivating. Just thinking about the food.
All right, pancakes, bacon it is. He claps his hands together, and a mage hand brings over a cast iron skillet, and he snaps his fingers, and I can't talk right now. And out of thin air begins to pour a batter into the pan. And he snaps his other hand, and a fire appears underneath this skillet. And he spends about 10 minutes just magically creating food.
That's so cool.
I'm pretty talented. And he has mage hands put them on plates for everybody. Everyone gets like 3 pancakes each, and like 4 pieces of bacon, and then he snaps his fingers in a mage hand, gets a pitcher of a dark red like syrup from the cupboard. I highly recommend the raspberry syrup.
Well, I mean, if it's highly recommended, then I am down to try.
It should be good either way. The food last night was good.
Is anybody else having issues with Discord cutting out?
I
No.
haven't.
No.
Just me then. No.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
I have tried turning it off and on again. Have you tried turning it on and off again, though? That's a question.
Have you tried fixing it?
Have you tried turning your mouse upside down?
All right, I've done it. Now
Maybe
what? Instructions
My mouse is now
unclear.
upside down.
My grandparents actually, they were like, my mouse doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense. And they were like, wait, is your mouse upside down? They flip it over. Oh, it's working. That's literally what happened.
You don't have to pass the blame onto you.
No, I'm serious. That's exactly
I
what
believe
happened.
it.
Cosme, you don't have to pass the blame onto your grandparents.
No, that actually happened. Because my dad is a super tech person, so they asked him a lot of questions. So he spent like 20 minutes trying to figure out if it was a computer problem and stuff, and then they found out, oh, it's just
Wait, actually?
Yeah, for real. Actual happened.
Just
That's why I
just
did.
like turns their mouse upside down.
Yeah, it was a wireless mouse, so they got it. Yeah.
But mice are
How-
made to
how
fit
do
in your
you-
hand.
I think it was like the Apple version or something, where it's like, I don't
Oh,
know.
it's thin.
Oh yeah, the Apple versions are pretty thin, and you can actually I can see that because they're barely curved.
Yeah, I think that was the Apple version that threw them off.
But wouldn't they hear the?
No, if they're
Yeah, they
older,
were
they
saying-
probably wouldn't. Or no,
Yeah.
if it's really thin, you can actually press down, and the side would actually press down because they're like very thin. The curve is like so narrow. Like think of the edge of a phone. That's how narrow that curve is.
Okay,
Yeah, that's why I was bringing it up as a joke.
so you guys get the benefits of a long rest, and you have a wonderful breakfast.
Thank you. So is this a Heroes Feast breakfast? Or no?
Oh wow, my thing just my keyboard's like a really weird thing right now. Would he cast Heroes Feast?
Only if you want it to be cool.
I'd say not right now.
Okay, we're not that good friends. Only the best of friends.
Only the best of friends.
Oh, Megan, did I show you my hoodie?
Oh God, no.
I got a new hoodie. I don't know if you can see it.
It's fucking Reddit Lucio, dude.
Lucio.
You're
Hey, listen.
such a Reddit Lucio when you play.
Listen, I heal
Speed
more than
boost.
most other supports on my.
Well, I compare you to my Lucio, my healing, and I do an average of like 9k per match, so get on my level.
I
So
can
yeah,
look at my
what-
average.
So guys, wake up, have breakfast. What are you doing?
Well,
You know, like he eats pretty quickly, and then he just kind of sits crisscross, like looking at you guys,
He is
as
still
if like
eating.
waiting.
She's eating
we need to
anything
figure
extra.
out something to do with the kid. I don't think that dragging a child around with us while we hunt down the wolves for the woman at the orphanage or anything of the sort is really a wise
Oh.
idea.
I think she
He
should
gave
come with
Arabella a
us.
singular pancake and gave Midnight a rasher of bacon because
I
he
think
likes the
she's
cat.
supposed to come with us. Promise.
This seems like a terrible idea. Why will we drag around 8-year-old child as we go hunt down wolves and a vampire? That seems terrible.
Because she is supposed to be our ally.
Does that does ally mean must come with, or does ally mean that she will assist in some fashion?
I think she will assist. She can gain us a lot of information.
I mean,
to use her powers in order to help us in our quest.
I mean, like last time, like I talked to her, and she gave me a reading. It was like stuff that was happening like really soon. So it could prove useful for when we go to certain unknown situations, maybe. Like, for example, I got like berserker for being brutally mutilated by something, and hey, the knives came out and almost hit Thea. Uh, so I need.
Or alternatively, it is Barovia, where there are
Real
undead and dangerous creatures every 20 feet, and the possibility of perhaps being attacked by something that could result in a gruesome murder is high.
real quick, did you guys ask Arabelle at all about her family or what she was doing in that sack?
We did. We actually did. I remember
Okay.
that.
Mhm.
We were. She told us the thing she
Just like
wants us
she
to
didn't know
go.
where her parents was.
Yeah.
Let's see if I have it. Where did we start with? There we go.
I get to flip away from my sleepover segment.
Oh, there it is. I did write it. Oh, never mind. No, I didn't.
Ah,
Mm,
calls me the DM's best friend. He always takes the notes.
Yeah.
I don't
Cosme.
think I actually wrote about Arabella's past for some reason. Because what I try to do, what at least in the past, what I've been trying to do is write what Zora knows herself. So if you guys had something like privates, I would try not to write it down, but I can just start writing like everything down if you guys want.
If
Well, I
you
mean,
want to.
we do have the recordings now, but everyone should keep their own notes separate, you know.
Mhm.
Like I write down everything. I just because of the recordings, I forgot to write down what you guys know and what you don't know.
Mhm.
Cause I know everything. I just don't remember what I've told you guys yet.
Yeah.
Haha, I know everything.
Yeah, I don't have any notes about Arabella's past or anything. Because I think you guys did talk about it, but I think it was either Promise
I think it. Yeah.
or Decima
I think it was me.
while we were upstairs. Yeah, because a couple of us went inside to go into the room, and I think you guys were outside with her while we went exploring.
Yeah. And I think what we learned is like, yeah, she did. I don't remember if she told us about her parents, but I remember she told us why she was in the sack, and that also I believe she wanted us to, like, go back to her caravan for something, and she told us about Madame Ava again, because she said she was Madame Ava's apprentice, right?
She was in line to be the next Madame Ava.
That's what it was. But she didn't say she wanted us to leave her when we went back. I don't remember that, at least.
Yeah.
You guys could have a conversation with her again. You're just kind of currently in the presence of
This
Dominic.
Strange wizard.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we should. So in general, I'm not sure about you guys. I know each of you guys have your own like thing that you guys want to do, and I have my own thing I want to do while I'm here. Um, the end result being trying to get out of here, probably. Um, which Dominic, you said that you can't get out. Is that right?
I don't leave this tower.
Oh, you just don't leave the tower. Okay.
Well, I can't leave Barovia either. Nobody can. But I don't leave this tower.
Why?
I just don't. It's safe here.
Do you're so you're concerned about Strat?
Yes, very.
You're saying that the wizard of your capabilities cannot kill a measly vampire?
How did everyone like their pancakes?
I liked it. They were good. It was a first. I think I still like waffles a little bit more. The syrup can like fit inside the like the little divots and like get more.
But they
rich
don't soak
and
up
bright.
as well, Like it gets a nice spongy,
But,
fluffy
like,
texture.
It. I'm just saying. I like. Yeah, waffles. But no, the pancakes were delicious though. Thank you so much for making the pancakes. I really like the bacon. You're a really great prep.
Oh, thank you.
The food was incredible. Raspberry jam still sitting on the side of her mouth, by the way.
Oh, Dominic, actually, I want to ask you a question. Is there anything like weird about the lake? Or is it just like a normal lake?
It's cursed.
Oh, it's cursed. Great.
Yeah, it's like a pissed off ghost or something.
Well, isn't that lovely?
It's cursed. Is there any like singing related to this lake?
Singing. I'm not sure. I never really got close to the lake because I heard it was cursed, so I just didn't go near it.
Okay. Let's see. Well, okay. Just letting you guys know. I heard something on the lake. I don't know if you guys heard it, but I haven't heard it since. So I don't know if it's gone now or anything like that.
There was something deeply wrong with that lake. I would prefer we avoid it as much as possible.
Okay. So, avoid lake. Do we want to go? We were kicked out of the town. By the way,
we still must deal with the wolves at the behest of the woman we stayed with.
That's right. So we have the wolves. If we want to gather now, by the way, if we want to gather supplies, I think I can get myself in the town, so that we can like prepare ourselves more and stuff. If you guys are interested in me doing that, I know there's some issues that we had last time we were there. But yeah, I'm just throwing that out there as an offer. Besides that, we need to find wolves.
We need to go back and get our payment.
Yes.
We could also.
Oh wait, we're getting paid for something.
Eastmark delivering Irina.
Zora wasn't with you guys at the time.
Oh right. No, Zora was when we delivered Irina.
No, like at the beginning. Like she doesn't know that there was a gold award.
We're supposed to get paid for bringing arena to Valaki, so we could go back. Also, there's the castle over near there that we skipped if we want to go
I
gallivanting in
don't know if we
Strahd's
are ready
domain.
to quite undertake that task, but
I'm not saying we kill Strahd. You think he cares about his castle?
personally, I would like to think that we should, well, I think that we should go ahead and deal with the wolves first. We made the promise, we should probably keep it, and I have the feeling that this woman is not someone we want to disappoint.
Okay. Do we know where the wolves are supposed to be?
We are directed over towards this direction, direction of the lake.
They're behind. Weren't they near
Do we
Jenny's
actually
huts?
have the?
I thought they were near Jenny's
She
huts.
said that she thought that their den was out near Lake Zara Beach.
Okay, that's what it was. Well, that's an option too, if we want to handle that. I'm just worried we might be running low on supplies soon.
Okay.
I don't imagine it should take long to deal with wolves. I deal with wolves, go back to Barovia, collect reward, and then maybe look over the other fortunes we were given and see if we can identify other people or things we can seek out.
Okay.
God damn.
Do we have the map of Barovia or no?
The one that's pinned is the one you have. Jenny drew one for you guys. I am attempting to fucking find
I will be right
step
back.
walk.
So we're north and east of Lake Starfish, right?
Wait. One more time.
We are northeast of Lake Zarvich, right? We're not at the tower that's marked.
One sec. Let me look. I'm trying to do a Google image search right now. Okay, so you currently, like how there's Lake Zarovich, right?
Mm-hmm.
How it like goes off into the mountains. You're between like that upper curve between the second and third little river that go into the mountains.
Okay, gotcha.
They're on the far shore. You came from the near shore.
Okay. And the wolves are supposed to be on the east side?
Yes, because like,
Okay.
yeah. So like closer to the fourth river.
Gotcha. Okay. But so yeah, I think dealing with the wolves would be good, and then we can head. Now, once we deal with the wolves, do we want to head back to Valaki, or do we want to just go like straight to the lady, and then to Valaki to get supplies?
I don't believe that we'll be allowed in Valaki. It seems like they were not very interested in letting us in before. We would either have to get into Valaki, or we would have to agree to give up all of our things that might
Or
be
we
in
could
any
just
way
send
related.
somebody into Valaki.
That is a possibility. We could just send one of us and grab the things we need and leave. If
That would be Zora's job, I would say. You're good at
Like-
stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I can also give myself a little bit of like disguise, like changing hair color, right? Like this, and I'll like change my hair color to like black, and then change it back to the hair color previously.
Yes. Yeah,
probably wise.
that's useful. I could definitely formulate a plan for that.
Okay. But before I go in there, I would want to know what we are looking for. If we're looking for like work or food or like goods.
We'll worry about that when we cross that bridge. For now, wolves.
But yeah. Now wolves. Okay. Do we know anything about these wolves, or are they supposed to be just normal wolves?
It wasn't me. It was you or Thea
Yeah.
talked with the kid, or Decima. Someone talked with the kid that was there, and there was mention of a werewolf, but they didn't share that information.
So what I got as a reminder is I talked to a kid that was a were-raven, I believe, and they had a friend that was becoming a werewolf. But that was happening on the full moon. They are not the people. I believe Jenny gave us this job about the wolves. So I would know the existence of were-ravens and werewolves. I would not make this connection that these might possibly be it, because on average, wolves are just wolves.
But other than that, we were just told that there are wolves to deal with, and I know that we've seen wolves and Strahd connected before. So
yeah.
Probably just wolves, but we'll see.
Okay, sounds good. Okay.
I'm gonna lose my goddamned mind.
So in that case, wolves first.
Okay. I don't actually have much to prepare since we're low levels. So. Yeah. Oh, okay. So actually, no. Since we're dealing with wolves, no, I'll keep that just in case. Okay. Because I was thinking about either maybe preparing. I can learn languages using some of my magical capabilities, or I could instead create an illusion of some sort of object that lasts there for a short period of time, about like 10 minutes or so.
For what purpose exactly?
Well, I mean, I was thinking maybe we could I could make a sheep or something, or to try and lure the wolves. But I can't make any sound with it, so I don't know how effective it would be.
What about scent? My understanding is wolves hunt by scent.
It doesn't smell. It's just a visual thing, unfortunately. So I don't know if that would be useful for wolves.
What if we hunted down like a rabbit?
Meg, I would know that wolves probably hunt by scent, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say I'm proficient in nature, so. Yes, wolves.
Sorry, I went a bit crazy for a second because
That's
I couldn't
fine.
find a link to something.
That's fine. Yes, wolves usually smell, but it's better we don't smell like anything.
You mean we shouldn't smell like bacon?
No, we shouldn't smell like any
That
type
would
of
probably
meat at
not
all.
be
I'm gonna sniff myself a bit. That will be problem.
What do you mean?
Well, none of us have really found bath in the last 2 days. And seawater, lake water wasn't exactly clean. I smell. The rest of you probably do too.
Actually, I think I smell all right. As she casts prestidigitation again on herself to clean the smell. See, I can actually no. Yeah, and she says clean, and she cleans herself of the smell.
Okay, so now that I finally found what I was looking for, Dominic actually had a bit more to say other than it's just cursed.
Okay.
Good.
It's supposed to be some kind of vengeful spirit of a lady who died. I heard the Vistani have some kind of song involved that tells a bit more about her story. Can't really recall it. I don't really recall Vistani. I don't really deal with Vistani. But you have a Vistani with you, so you might want to ask her. I don't like Vistani.
that has been made.
There we go. And then you guys can do all your little thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Clean.
We
Yep,
should.
clean.
So we should talk
anyone
to
else? Okay. Yeah, we should definitely should. Anyone else want to get cleaned first? Or like, you guys good?
I mean, I almost drowned in swamp water yesterday. Could I please be cleaned?
Yes, of course. Goes over to Decima and waves a hand of her clean hand. Like,
I definitely need
Much better.
a few rounds of cleaning.
okay. I'll go over to Promise and be like, clean, clean.
Ooh, I'd love to
Clean.
try it out.
Thank you.
Yeah, gotta get the hell out of there. So.
Gotta clean the hell out of her.
Yep, exactly. Oh yeah. All right, here we go. Clean. Now over to Thea. Dominic. I don't know if you like automatically clean yourself or whatnot. Are you interested?
Press to digitate. And he cleans himself.
Mr. Midnight, are you interested or are you good?
Thank you, but no thank you. I prefer my tongue.
Did you just really ask if
Gotcha.
the cat wanted an actual bath?
I asked if the cat wanted to be clean, not if it wanted a bath. So I'm going to go over to Arabelle. Arabella, is she awake? Oh no, she is.
Yeah, she had a pancake. And she has like some syrup like sticking part of her hair to her cheek.
Hey, Arabella. I know that you were in the lake the other day. Do you want to be clean and stuff?
Sure.
Okay. Clean.
Just
And-
presto.
exactly. And
Thank you.
you're welcome. Are you up for talking today? I know that sometimes you like get like a little like woozy at times and stuff. So
As long as I don't touch Thea, then I should be able, or crazy guy. I shouldn't get lost in the weave. I'm gonna try my hardest.
What? Why? What?
Because then I would see your whole past and I'd get lost in the weave. It's really
Oh.
hard.
She hasn't seen your past, remember?
Why
Right.
exactly is it that you do that with some people but not others?
What do you say?
Why exactly is it that you do that with some people and not others?
What, warn them?
Yes.
Well, I didn't have time to warn you guys, you know? Like, it's like I was kind of freaking out over that fat guy kidnapping me and, being chucked into a lake. And then, I got lost in the weave really deep, and I always feel like really confused when I come out of it because, the past is really different from the present. And then you follow someone all the way up to the present, but then you wake up where you are, so, like, compared to where they last were, so you could even be looking at yourself, which is really disconcerting. And so it's really discombobulating, and you guys just were like touching me a bunch, like, why would you touch a small child you don't know? I think that's on you.
Well, I apologize. We should have left you at the bottom of lake.
No, I'm not saying that. I was
unconscious.
unconscious for that. I'm saying, like, once you got me up, you were like, oh, are you okay, small child? And you were like, like all over me. What if I had been like super traumatized to touch? What if that guy had like hit me and I'd been like, don't touch me?
Just got a point.
You
know
should be
big
more
words for
sensitive to
being so
trauma.
young.
Yeah, it comes from getting lost in the weave. You should
You
be more
still-
sensitive to possibly traumatized children.
you still have memories of all our pasts, right?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so that when we got to the lake, I started hearing a song. Do you know what that is?
Well, I'm assuming that it was Lady Karina.
Who?
She's a spirit who haunts the lake. She was like brutally murdered. There's a song. I don't sing though. It's like an ancient land where the devil's grace with an angel wreathed in gold. Her purity, that of a child. Her heart filled with love. A beast sought her for himself, and her silent cries for help went unknown. Her true love grew sick with jealousy. I think it doesn't rhyme. Her mind and soul corrupted, and in the end, her love betrayal. Two hearts broken, one beneath the waves, forever cursed and bound to the lake. Lady Karina. It's like
Um,
it's really tragic.
can I get that in written format? Cool. She's just going to grab a piece of paper and a pen out of her backpack and not pen, charcoal, and hand it over to Arabella.
Yeah, it was like it was an old, like, she was really pretty, and she was a noblewoman, and she was the last of her house when, like, Strahd was still, like, not a vampire. At the mention of Strahd, you heard Dominic just yell, "Get out of my house!" sorry, but don't mention Strahd in here.
Any particular reason why there are so many places that do not want people mentioning the name of the vampire? It's not like people actually believe that saying the name of them is going to actually bring them to you, is it?
I don't like when Vistani say it. They have ways of cursing people, you know.
What is your problem with Vistani?
How'd you like the bacon?
The bacon was incredible.
I would like to ask you more questions, Arabelle, but I think, out of respect to our new friend here, Dominic, I think maybe asking them outside would be a better idea. Yeah. Everyone else, do you guys want to head on outside and continue our conversation there?
Very well.
Thea shrugs her shoulders and begins to walk out.
Oh, Dominic, before we head out, since you don't really like get out of the tower much, is there anything that you'd be interested in? To, like, help like solidify our friendship and stuff like that? I don't know, like maybe tea leaves or...
I have to consult someone. Give me a sec. I have to consult with my chief creative director on this one. Okay. So he gets down and look over his face. Actually, yes. There is something I wouldn't mind you getting for me. I can't quite remember what it is though. Nor can I particularly remember where it was outside of being maybe close to a Vistani camp.
Interesting. That's not much to go on.
Yep. I think you'll know it when you see it. It has my name on it.
Okay. So
Um,
Dominic.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dominic, if you would allow me, I can. No, never mind. Nope, never mind. Sorry, don't want to offer that. So, okay, look for things with your name on it near
Well,
a
that's
Vistani
not
camp.
fair. You can't tease me like that. You know, you're gonna start to offer something and then you tell me no.
I was thinking it could be a good idea, but then you might want to ask me, and I don't want that.
Well, that's like offering someone a cupcake, but then like saying, "Oh, yeah, you know, actually, never mind."
Look, okay, I have an ability that can read people's thoughts, and I was thinking that I could like see what like this object is that you're talking about, since you can't really like remember it. But like, I don't like people reading my thoughts, so that's why I didn't really want to talk.
I don't either. But there are gaps in my memory. So I think it might actually hurt you to try and read my mind. I don't know how that really works. You try to read someone's mind and there's not something there, maybe you could fall down a hole in the mindscape and then get stuck forever.
Yeah, no. I have enough problems as it is than getting lost.
Yeah, you know, just looking out for you, really.
Thanks. Okay. Um, and I'll turn to the rest of the group. By the way, guys, I have not tried to read any of your minds. Promise. So,
I
no,
didn't think you
not
would have.
specifically you, Promise, just everyone. I assure you.
I didn't think you would have.
Okay.
So,
Well,
be safe, don't die, and if you become a vampire, stay far away from me.
well, I'll let you know if I become a vampire.
Well, I imagine you'll know if you try to get on the property and then you're just suddenly. Phew. Oh, and remember, it's always polite to knock.
Yes.
Quick question, just in case. Perhaps, knowing vampires, you might give us a bit of advice on how to properly defeat them. I mean, clearly, if you have the ability to set up orbs that will vaporize them upon entry to your property, you have other hints on how to defeat such creatures.
And there's a specific type of damage called radiant damage that is particularly effective against them. Um, the problem is, as far as I know, Strahd can't die.
Oh, well, that's lovely.
Is that Strahd
According to what
specific
I've
or
heard,
vampire?
he's died before, and then he like woke up a week later and completely like fucked over everything that was nice that was going on at the time, from what I understand. Maybe killed some people or something. It's just what I've heard.
You would like to see Strahd killed.
Yes.
Perhaps you might have items or relics of value that might make it easier for us to do that. Because if you haven't realized already, our plan is to kill the beast.
So I'm not 100% sure. If you brought me an item, I could definitely like figure out what it does for you, and you know maybe help you out if it's like you know maybe gonna like take your soul or something. But I just have my magic. I could teach Zora magic. Um, at some point when she's ready. I'm not sure if our schooling would be the same. Your incantations are a bit straightforward. But
I
I could
presume
try.
that you would not join us in any offense if we made the Punstrad's property.
Have you know, my incantations are very complex, but it's the simple words that help like maintain everything together. Okay.
He suddenly gets very quiet and pale in the face. And just like seems like he's not paying attention to a word you're saying, Zora.
Are you okay, Dominic?
Doesn't respond.
And turn around, see if there's something behind me.
No.
Promise, did you say something that was like really like surprised? Like, did you say something?
Apparently, he doesn't like the suggestion that we might have him join us on an event at the Punstrad's castle.
That could do it. It could also be many other things. We do know that he's been here a while.
I have the sneaking suspicion that he has probably undergone a lot of trauma at Strad's end.
Can I see if there's some sort of like, I don't know, magical effect or something on him, or if it's just like.
Okay, you can make an Arcana check. You'd have to get closer to him though.
Yeah, I'll get closer. Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be magical effect at all, and after a few moments, he locks eyes with you. And Morella? No, Zora. Zora. That's your name. That's your name. Zora. Zora.
Yeah. Yeah. Were you thinking of someone else?
No.
Yes. No.
No.
Oh, that's weird. Huh. Maybe it was one of those blink memories. Popping up again.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe they should say blank. For like ever.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're okay. I guess we will be off. I'll look for the thingy. Yeah. Okay. And with that, she's going to like head out of the place.
Don't die. And you guys leave with Arabelle.
Mm-hmm.
Outside again with the mist. Arabelle, as soon as like you guys get outside, starts unwinding the rope from her chest, just like grumbling a little bit.
I'll help her out of it and just take it back to my pack. Sorry.
So itchy.
I know. I apologize. But at the very least, we found a safe place to rest and we have some useful information.
Guess so.
I appreciate you not complaining too much about it. I should just pat her on the head.
Well, we should get going, yes?
To the wolves then? Or
Yes.
I think that's the
We
best bet.
should. Well, we need to get on a.
I was telling a story, wasn't I?
Yeah, kinda.
Perhaps you
Should
can
probably
tell
finish the story
while
before we go back out into that. And she just looks over at Lake Zarovich. So like this was like before Strahd was like Lord of the Land, I guess. Like it was back when he was just like, part of the nobility of Castle Ravenloft,
Okay.
And she was to marry Lord Varric Kreskov of Kresk. And they spent a lot of time together here at Lake Zarovich. But there was another lord, Lord Duskin, who took an interest in Karina, and against her will, Nikolai took her in like secret. And he like paraded her around and stuff, and like threatened her and like people she loved. And like Varric just had to watch as like this happened, like they were engaged and so like, she's around with this guy. Um for months, like it went on, and Varric didn't really know nothing. He just, like thought she betrayed him. And his heart got really jealous and like really dark. Um and there was like some violence, I guess, between Nikolai and Karina. Um And Karina eventually decided to say, screw this, and she went to go and like, return to Varric, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then he was just like, no, I don't care. You cheated on me. Yeah, I had these visions while I was drowning. It was a really weird thing. I'm telling you, like, like dying in the sunlight, like you wake up on the shore. It's the weirdest shit. Don't do it.
I'll keep that in mind.
Either way, she was heartbroken. Um, and then she came here to the lake with him. Um, and like they were trying to talk it out. Um, and then during the middle of the night, Lord Varric took her out to the middle of the lake. There's this like little like rocky outcropping that only has a couple inches of water on it, like the middle of the lake. And he stabbed her to death and cursed her, and then let her body drown. And then he got really upset that it happened, and then he went and hung himself at the crossroads over by the river Iblis. And she's just kind of stuck here.
Oh, um,
Nice story.
Yeah, and like
wow.
she like totally tries to like lure people in and like kill them, and like she makes you like hear and like see people who've like died in the lake.
And there's like no way to talk to her, or
I think you can if you try. Um, I don't know. No one's really tried before.
Why start now?
Would there be any benefits with attempting to speak with her that you can see, Zora?
um. Oh, so OC. I don't know anything about Decima's goals, right?
You know anything about Decima's what?
Your goals.
You've been there when I've talked about my book. You
Okay.
definitely have been. That's part of the reason why we got kicked out of
Oh, yeah,
Valaki was my book, and I mentioned them. It's a record of history, rather. It's not like I'm praising Strahd. That's, and I think I've probably said it a couple other times too.
They don't care because they're a bunch of legalistic asswipes.
Yeah. So you have a general idea that that's probably a goal I have. If I have more than that, you don't know.
Okay. The only thing I can think of right now for talking with her is, well, actually, there are several things. One, if we talk with her, maybe we can, well, like she's mad, so maybe if we talk with her and like maybe befriend her, I don't know if it's possible. We could like cross the river, like the lake, without any issues from now on.
I suppose that's
Also,
possible.
if we can make friends with her, since she was around when Strahd was human, I guess, maybe you could get information that's like firsthand experience. That's not.
I could. I also have other promises of that, but yes, that is a way.
I just don't. From the sounds of it, it's really creepy. I currently don't really want to meet her right now, but in case we do, I wanted one to try and talk with her. before we start like casting. Yeah.
How are you planning to fight on the lake? Because I figured the Wolves Den would not be on a lake, maybe nearby, but.
Well, we have to cross like this river here before we get to that side.
True. But last time it only affected us when we fell in, other than the creepy noises.
Gotcha.
I'm just saying, if we want to, we can ignore this or we can handle it.
Well, we have some goals right now that we need to deal with. Maybe we can maybe she can be a future ally, but I think we should deal with the wolves first.
I agree. It seems like if it's rested here for this long, we could come back later. It's not time sensitive.
I would also want to try and learn some spells, maybe, that can help us with them. Or I don't know if that's somebody you know of magics that can help talk with her or like protect ourselves from her. Yeah.
No, I don't think I have anything that will let me talk to her. I'm not one for talking with the dead too much. The dead should stay dead.
Okay.
I can see if it would be a good idea to talk to her.
That would actually that'd be good info.
Do you want to do that right now? It'll take me a bit, but I can.
Sure. Let's do that.
Alright, I will ritual cast Augury.
Okay.
And I'm just going to ask, if we were to talk about the ghosts, how would that go?
Like, if you were to talk about the.
No, to the ghosts, my bad. If we were to talk go into the lake and attempt to speak with whatever is in the lake.
You're getting a mixed result on this one.
Okay. So, it seems
you feel like
oh.
It depends on what you're saying to her.
Okay. So, it's going to entirely depend on what we say to her, which is an issue because we don't know what will cause good and bad reactions.
Perhaps once we figure out our other problems, we can do some research and see if anybody else has encountered this ghost and has lived to tell the tale.
Yes.
That sounds like a good idea. Yeah, gather information and then possibly talk to them later.
Okay. That's a fine plan.
Alright, so are you guys gonna start walking around the lake or
is there
so with the map. Right, we're going back to the map. Those little things is you can walk along the shoreline for a while until you reach that little river bit that you would have to like cross.
Okay, we can do that, or we can go on the lake and then sail. So
because the boat is still there.
Yes, we still have our boat.
I would like to stay on the boat because if we go to the river, there might not be a bridge there, and then we might need the boat anyways. But we should probably stay near the coastline. So, drowning. Because I'm not strong, so I can't save you guys.
Understandable.
Okay, so, boat. Okay. Alright, we're doing this. Alright. So, here we go.
That'll be fine.
So as you guys get closer to the boat again, Zora, you hear as like the mists close in on you guys again as you step away from Dominic's tower. As you guys step away from Dominic's tower, the mist closes around you once again as you get closer to the shoreline of Lake Zarovich. And Zora, you hear the song start up again. That same echoing, haunting song from before, but this time it has words.
Oh.
The same words that Arabelle quoted to you. And that same haunting, high voice.
Well, I hear the voice again, and this time it's actually singing. I'm gonna look over to Arabelle and see if she is like humming or something.
Not me.
Okay, it's.
Perhaps we should simply not listen to singing, and we should leave because random singing sounds like very bad thing.
Yes, I agree. We should stay near the shore.
We could also just grab the boat and
Meg?
carry it with us. Then we don't have to be close to the shore.
Can I make some kind of check to know whether or not there's any kind of, if I'm familiar with any kind of ghost or fae or something that does this sort of thing? Like, what kind of check would that be?
I'd say a history check.
Okay, and would that qualify for the advantage for fae feeds undead?
Yeah, for undead, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
18.
18. You haven't, like, it almost sounds similar to a banshee, which you have heard of, but it doesn't match up. But you definitely feel like the song should have some kind of power to it, and that you should not listen to it if you hear it.
Yes, and Zora, you really should just try and take your focus off the song. Very bad things happen if you focus on it. So let's leave and not interact with the singer.
Well, and that's
Okay.
why we could just grab the boat, take it off the lake, and walk around with it.
The boat does seem pretty heavy to do
is
that.
It not
It's like a
we have
it's
any
like a
reason we need to
four-person
keep
rowboat.
Yeah, but
You know, like driving it around would be a bit unwieldy.
Why don't we just walk around? Ignore the boat. We don't need to keep boat.
That's
We
fair.
can tie it up here to make sure it doesn't go away, and then we just walk all the way around.
Sora?
Yeah. Huh?
You hear a voice whisper, "Come into the water with me." And I would like you to make a wisdom save.
Ooh.
Wisdom, alright. I have proficiency in it, so I should totally be fine.
I'm like 90% sure, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a wisdom save. Yeah. You feel yourself turning for a moment towards the water, and you see for a moment through the fog for just a moment a woman seeming to like be clutching to a rock, struggling to get up onto it. But you don't feel the compulsion to go into the water.
I'm going to look over at her. She spoke in like normal, like common, right?
You only saw this figure for a moment before the mist swirled back like over it, but this was in common.
Okay.
None of us heard it, right?
I'm going to.
You actually all heard a voice say, "Come into the water with me."
How
I'm
about
gonna point
no?
out in that direction, and I'm gonna lift up my prism and bring it to my mouth, and point out and say secret message. And I'm going to ask, are you Lady Karina?
So, what you get back, is a overwhelmingly loud wail of agony,
Oh, fuck.
almost threatening to make your ears bleed if this wasn't just in your head. Give her back. And that's what you get. Before you all hear the sounds of splashing
Guys,
coming
Daryl.
directly towards
Okay.
you.
We need a bucket. Bucket. Now. I'm just gonna like run and like pick up Arabella. I'm gonna try like pick up Arabella and just
What's your
book
strength? What's your strength?
I have 11 strength.
Okay, you can pick up the child.
I'm gonna like carry up the rear with my shield, and I'm gonna draw my longsword, and I will go ahead and follow. But I'm gonna make sure that I kind of stay between my hopefully running companions and the water. So
Do you guys look back at all?
I'd probably
No.
be looking back while running.
All right, you see.
same here.
So if we go, I need to go back up to females against Strahd real quick and post. Because this is what it gave me for a picture. I know it's from The Witcher. You see that clawing at the shoreline as her dress is like pulling her down, like it's hard for her to move, but she's like it's almost like she's yelling without making a sound. She like claws at the shoreline and watches you intently as you're running away. But she does not move from the water.
She's back in the water.
Interesting.
Looking at 90, 120, 150 feet away. Go.
Yeah. You guys are booking it quite a ways away. Every time you find yourselves veering closer to the shoreline, you hear the aggressive splashing noises continue as you guys are moving along. It seems like every time like you weave closer to the shoreline to check that you are indeed following the shoreline, you hear that noise again.
I'm gonna like after a little bit, I'm gonna like stop like running. Away. I'm gonna be away from the shoreline. I'm gonna stop running because I'm tired and I don't have a lot of constitution.
Are you gonna put down Arabelle?
I'm gonna like I'll put down Arabella. I'm just gonna like sorry guys. I tried to send a secret message and
I
like
could have ran.
Oh, like I didn't know like if that creature could just like I don't know what that creature can do. And
I could run faster than you.
She does have a
probably.
point.
I'm sorry, I panicked.
It's okay. It's understandable. We're fine. I don't think you can leave the water.
So that I asked if it was Lady Karina, and instead I got an ear piercing screech in my skull, which was rude. And they said
It
that
sounds like a banshee, and banshees can kill you if you hear their screaming. So you're lucky.
well, and then she was like, "Give me back."
Give her back is what she said.
Give her back. Yeah, she said give her back. So I'm assuming that was Arabelle since she like fell in the water, but it was singular, so I don't know why it wouldn't include you two. Um,
Well, wasn't
Perhaps there's something unique about
well
child.
wasn't
I thought he was crazy.
yeah, didn't Arabelle, didn't you say he was trying to sacrifice you to improve the crops to the god of the lake or whatever?
Uh-huh. I
That's
saw
the
his
god of the
past. He
lake.
was just talking to the lake.
There's the
Like all
god
the
of the
time.
lake.
I didn't think they was actually talking to the spirit.
Yeah, now we know.
oh,
This thing
so-
wants my life.
You'll be fine.
Uh-uh.
You'll be fine.
Perhaps if we find the creature and kill it, we will fix the problem.
Killing doesn't always solve everything, but in this case, I kind of agree.
So I don't know if talking to this creature is like a good
Oh
idea
no, we're not
unless we
talking to
have.
it.
And Ray, you know that banshees can only be elven. So
We're not talking to this thing at all. That's
What
not
race
an
is
option.
Arabella?
Arabelle is human.
Okay.
Do we know
Like
what
everyone you've seen in Barovia so far, like all the Barovians you've seen are just humans.
Are we aware of what race Lady Karina was?
You could ask the person who saw Lady Karina in the past.
Arabella, question. Um, do you know what was Lady Karina? Oh no, I don't know anything about.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Never mind, I'm not asking that question.
But I would probably ask, although I would be loath to do so. Like, Arabelle, do you know whether or not this lady was an elf or a human or some other creature? Hopefully.
She was a human. All Barovians are humans.
Alright, perfect. That means creature is not is not.
Hmm. So
If she is banshee, she must be elf.
hmm.
If she is elf, she is not Lady Karina.
There haven't been elves in Barovia for centuries.
I would estimate that she enough.
Well, like natives.
Right.
Decima's a high elf.
Yep. Decima is a high elf.
We have another problem though.
What?
I mean, they've been following us as soon as we get close to the water, and according to this map, we are surrounded by water.
Oh.
So wait a second. You're saying that we're on an island. We're not actually on the other side of the lake.
Well, I mean, on the other side of the lake, but there's like two.
You guys are at the base of the mountains, and the rivers go into like the mountains.
Yeah. I'm
Like,
gonna
area.
like show the map.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, there's two rivers. I mean, we could go around the river. It'd take
Oh.
longer.
Do we? But so rivers flood, lakes become rivers. But do you think she can travel into the river? Is the question. Because these rivers go even further than this lake, right? According to the map. So why would she be only here?
Would it be fair to say that I would know that in general, lakes and rivers are considered separate entities for these sorts of rules?
Wait, one more time.
Would it be fair to say that Promise would know that in general, lakes and rivers are considered separate entities as far as those sorts of rules are concerned?
Yeah.
Yeah. So usually lakes and rivers, when it comes to hauntings and curses and similar types of things, they're considered separate. So if she is indeed bound to a lake, she will not be bound to a river.
Okay.
So
That's
we
good
just
to
get
hear.
around the lakes. It's gonna be a long roundabout way is the only issue.
Correct, but then not deal with Banshee, which could kill us again. Kill us literally with will.
Yeah, I like being alive.
Yes, I do too. So let's head to the river, see if we can cross over somewhere. If not, we can walk around. That's fine. Oh, also, I felt really compelled to like go into the water.
Everyone hears that, by the way.
What did it say?
Decima, but like in a whispery tone, because I
Oh,
wanted to
gotcha.
be extra.
Oh, so it wants
Okay.
me.
And you all hear the sound of water again, but this time it stops abruptly, and you see emerging from the fog a ghostly figure who looks exactly like Lena. Roll initiative.
You motherfucker.
Damn it.
Doom, 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 doom. Combat music intensifies.
Dun, 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 dun. Good job, Ray.
Promise was completely
Ray, I
caught
feel
off
like
guard.
I might. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to be in your shoes. Oh no, I did all right.
Is Bean around? I know he's been busy with work. So we might just have to play this encounter without Thea.
That's what we're gonna do.
Okay. We should be fine. We have full spell slots.
And you have Arabelle.
And I have yes, and we have Arabelle.
Yeah, an 8-year-old.
You an 8-year-old. We don't even
Okay.
know if they can do it.
She has to roll for initiative. I have her thing. There it is. Cool. She gets plus 2. 10. Okay, so we got Decima. We got Zora. We got Lil Arabelle. We got Lady. Or no, we got Lena. And then we got Promise, dead last. Okay. Decima. You see the ghostly form of Lena. She looks really fucked up. Like not all like she looked like in like the vision you saw beneath the lake. She's dripping with water. Her clothes are slashed and bleeding freely from her neck is a gaping wound that just drips spectral blood down her front, and her eyes are like clouded over, and her neck is slightly tilted. And she just whispers your name and extends her arms towards your throat.
All right. So, how far away is she?
We'll say it's 20 feet from the shoreline because it's like far enough away that you guys wouldn't be able to see the shoreline really anymore.
Okay.
But it's close enough that you could tell, like, the splash splash.
So she's what about 20 feet? Okay. All right. I'm going to let my tattoos flick on, and I'm going to like guide my hand through the air and grab a fate chain coming from her and cast guiding bolt along the chain.
Okay.
So I am going to spell attack. 5, I believe. Make sure. Yep. 13.
13 hits.
All right. So 46 plus. Oh, does guiding bolt not actually get my extra stuff? Really?
I don't think it does.
I think
It's
it
been a
normally
while
just
since I've
gets
played it.
the 46.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, it's just nutty on its own.
Yeah.
And then, you give advantage to the next attack roll made.
Yep, 15 damage in the next attack roll. And then, as well, as a bonus action, because I feel bad, I'm going to say, I'm sorry, my friend. We must put you out of your misery and let the fates guide you to the afterlife. And I am going to use my channel divinity to give her disadvantage on the next 3 rolls she makes.
Okay.
Oh wait, no. She has to make. It says make a saving throw. What is it? Fucking. I actually go look this up because I didn't apparently copy and paste this correctly.
Rip.
I am on ID 10T.
Huh? Oh, you dumb.
Yeah. Well, it's programmer's favorite error, the ID 10T error.
Like the Pepcac error.
Yep.
Fucking nerd.
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 Can't believe you didn't copy this right. I'm bad.
I can't
Bad.
imagine it's anything other than your spell save TC.
No, but what save do they have to make?
Yeah,
Charisma
Alright,
saving
it
throw.
It would either be wisdom or charisma.
It's
most
charisma.
likely. Fate clerics for some reason do charisma, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
14?
That actually saves, so she does not get the disadvantage. Okay. So, and then that is the end of my
As
turn.
you say, I'm sorry, whatever, she just, looks to you. You let him eat me. And it sounds like, obviously, it's extremely hard for her to talk because your throat's been ripped out.
Yep.
So, Zora is going to fumble and grab her prism, and then she's gonna point one of the ends toward this creature, pull back, and you can see a green stream of energy, and then she releases it, and a green arrow proceeds to fly, and she says, "Acid, fly!" And she's gonna cast Acid Arrow.
Nice.
Hey!
That's a spell I have never seen before. Also, good luck on your advantage.
It's really cool.
Great spell.
Woo!
Roll damage.
She also needs to make a dexterity saving.
Good shit, Cosme. Get that crit.
Okay.
Remember, roll double dice. She rolled a 4.
Yep. I just am double checking. Okay. I think it's just the initial damage. I think it's double. Make a ranged spell attack on a hit. They take 4d4 acid damage immediately and 2d4 acid damage at the end of its next turn. Oh no, yeah, so you don't make a dex save. So okay, so it's just 8d4.
Fuck.
Dang it, that was a lot of ones. But
Ouch.
15 of acid damage. If she's I don't know.
How do you want to do this?
She's gonna be like.
Well, okay, we got radiant damage, and then you had the crit. So, on an undead, that's pretty nutty.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about it being radiant. I'm just like, this is my best spell or spiritual weapon,
Yeah.
but.
So yeah, she is just going to raise up, clearly terrified, but is fires at her chest area, just trying to hit her. And I guess the arrow sinks in and melts through her chest cavity.
Just shock on her face as she looks down to it, and then looks between Dusma and Promise for a moment before her soul slowly begins to unwind. Like her form begins to unwind, and you almost see.
Promise wants to do her thing with her necklace. So I'm going to go ahead and whisper my little prayer and try and take advantage of the situation.
Okay, so you see remind me DM me what it is again, Ray?
Oh boy, I don't even. This is.
Boy.
I wonder. Depending on what I see, there's many different ways Decima might react to this. Because if you're sitting here tampering with life, oh boy. Yeah, I forgot. I didn't even think about the radiant damage. I'm like, this is gonna be cool. It's like a bolt gliding along a fucking string.
Okay, so. Yeah. Okay. So you see, beginning to melt away like ash over this sickly blue specter. You see underneath a golden form of Lena looking whole and not fucked up. And she slowly begins to wind away, and you see the strings of fate begin to fly almost hair in the wind up before Promise whispers a prayer, and you see suddenly rigid, and slowly black chains before into her necklace. I'm just gonna sit back and let you guys all play.
It's like panic, but then I'm like,
What did you do, Promise?
Whatever they said earlier, remember when they were talking about Strahd having control of the souls here? I did not want to risk the possibility of Strahd taking care of her soul, so I captured it first. When we are gone, we can let it out, but I don't want her to fall into Strahd's grip now, here.
Can I take your word for that?
Absolutely.
You're not gonna bring her to hell.
No, I will not bring her to hell.
You're not gonna give her to the people you owe.
No.
You're going to set that soul free. I don't care what you do with any other soul. But that was
If
our
I have
friend.
the opportunity, I will let her soul free.
Okay.
can I insight both of them, like Decima, to see how, like, her emotional state and
Make 2 different rolls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Direct yours. Although
all right.
I will. Yeah, I'm not gonna roll parallel just depending on what you roll. I'll give
Yeah,
you.
I'm gonna have Cosme roll, and
Mhm.
then I'm gonna have you guys tell Cosme what they know. That's how I usually handle
Yep.
PvP.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have a modifier. I did, but I
Okay.
guess insight, promise, or lies.
Alright, I'll go first. So Decima's emotional state right now is, one, this was somebody she's somewhat considered a friend. I mean, it's a very loose term to her what a friend is, but regardless to her, the fates and soul are important. So something being captured is affecting her. And she's not trying to hide it, so that's why I'm giving you a lot. It's very much she's very there about it, and you would assume that her connection to the fates kind of ties into that. Whether there's more to that or not, specifically with the fact that it's a promise or what she saw, you don't know.
Cool.
Ray, are you genuine in what you said, according to Zora?
Based off my 9.
It seems like she's very guarded, but she's being honest. But she chose her words carefully.
Okay. Good to know.
I love that, like, everybody within this party, there's like there's the barest amount of trust between the two, and Zora's over here like, they said they'd fucking kill me, so I don't know if I can trust these idiots.
That is fair. That is very fair.
On multiple occasions.
I mean, to Decima, death is just death. That's just kind of what it is.
Die.
So it's a little bit different, but yeah. Makes sense that you'd be scared. I think that's a good spot to end
Lena,
it.
wasn't it?
Huh?
That was your friend Lena, wasn't it?
It was.
She was here when we first arrived, just a couple days ago. We didn't know what had happened to her. We assumed she'd left.
I saw that. I mean, another reason why you're gonna kill Strahd, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, let's go find some wolves.
I want to insight the kid.
Yeah.
I think the kid's just trying to be upbeat while we're all depressed as shit.
I want to see how she respond. Like her, I saw that, and just her general response to what I just did in the conversation we just had. Like, see how taken aback or
Okay.
afraid she looks, I guess. Damn.
Man, that's rough.
She looked like she was just watching it. Like her face was just unreadable. It was like it wasn't like she felt anything. It's as if she was just watching something that wasn't really happening before her eyes.
All right.
All right.
We shall
Okay.
continue.
That's actually a good place to end it. I just wanted to get that little bit in.
I figured it would be.
'Cause,
Mhm.
you know, that was like a moment, you know?
Mhm. I was slightly terrified that was a banshee, and so when we did that much damage to it,
Oh no,
okay.
the actual Lady of the Lake is much worse than a banshee.
Oh really? Oh,
Oh,
wow.
I'm sure. But that
Remember, guys, there's certain things that are overpowered and underpowered, and there's
Nope.
certain ways about going about it. I just wanted to kind of have a small thing, you know, for combat.
me
Like this is actually a
pause.
feature she